So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Okada and Ospreay have said sayonara to New Japan Pro Wrestling. 12 years for Okada, 8 years for Ospreay, and now they go on to greener asters. I think I said that correctly. Where do we go from here? Well, I don't know what the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to hold, but oh boy, do I have thoughts. So let's get to it. I'm John Rant with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Beginning in Osaka 2024 event. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. This review is up later than usual because, well, one, I had to work this morning and the Super Bowl, and the fact that some of this event took me a little bit longer to get through, and I wonder if you guys can guess ahead and understand why you might just be seeing me praise some shit and lose my mind at some shit. I wonder if you can guess where I'm going to lose my goddamn collective mind. I wonder if you can guess. I have not reviewed any New Japan Pro Wrestling program since Wrestle Kingdom. There's a reason for that. I saw some of New Year's Dash, and I can't stand the Bullet Club stuff. That's probably a little bit of a spoiler as to how I felt about some of this show. If Bullet Club actually meant anything besides being a husk, shrieking berserker noises, I'm gonna stab the Undertaker with the sword, and what do you mean the program's done? That actually happened, that he almost stabbed him with a sword. It was funny. It was certainly funnier than anything that happened on this goddamn show, even though there was unintentional comedy. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to say right now that I do apologize if anybody wanted me to review any New Japan programming that has happened in between Wrestle Kingdom and this. I've been working. I've been taking a back seat, as far as like some programming, not just New Japan, but in general. I've been trying to dive into some more movies and give myself more of a break. So, yes, this is the final farewell for Ospreay and Okada. They competed in New Japan for the last time until probably the Forbidden Door is kicked back open. They say, oh, hi, we were just here, but we're back. So anyway, I know that's going to take place in the U.S., but nevertheless. So yeah, they were in an arena in Osaka, obviously, since New Beginning in Osaka is the title of the show, and held around 8,000 people, that's what the capacity was, and it was jam-packed, even jelly, as it were. Jellied eels. No, I'm kidding, I'm sorry. 5,400 people, or thereabouts, and they were pretty raucous, and that was pretty goddamn nice. So, we have Taguchi and Boltin Oleg, who's a big lad, and a strong lad, big strong boy, as it were, against Yano and Yo. I think Yano's merch plugs were longer than the match. And why is Yo dressed like discount John Cena? Ba-ba-ba-ba. What-ba-doo. Oleg has some potential. They were doing dueling lifts, Taguchi and Boltin, but, well, Taguchi was unable to bolster his Boltin lifts and then got rolled up. Yeah, that was it. So then Goto and Yoshihashi took on Okan and Callum Newman. Hello, Newman. TMDK joined commentary, so you had Walker Stewart and Chris Charlton, and then you had TMDK. Now, I've gotten used to Chris Charlton, even though he is very British, but he is a very good commentator. But goddamn, I had a hard time understanding TMDK, or, well, Haste and Nichols. I actually forgot Mikey Nichols' name and had to write it down. I was like, wait, what the hell's his goddamn name? Anyway, Goto and Yoshihashi against Okan and Callum Newman. I have not seen much of Mr. Newman. His pasta sauce is pretty goddamn good. He has good speed, but yeah, Shoto pinned him. This isn't the last that we see of the particular United Empire members. And yeah, Callum Newman is like the understudy in the United Empire. Shota Umino, El Desperado, Tiger Mask, and Hanma took on House of Torture. The crowd popped for Umino and Despy. By the way, Umino's entrance is taking longer and longer. It's going to get to the point where about an hour is going to be devoted because he's going to go through the entire Tokyo Dome in the upper decks and greet people and say hi to Antonio Inoki by looking downwards. Har har. So, Sho had stolen Despy's mask during the, in between, like, Wrestle Kingdom and this. I forget what event. I don't care. Anytime House of Torture is involved in shit, I can't. I just fucking can't. It's abysmal. Narita's potential, his entire potential has just been stamped down and dragged through the goddamn mud. I'm not saying he can never have a good career, but this House of Torture stuff is death. Tiger Mask got pinned with weapon usage. Good thing that's the only weapon usage we get tonight. Getting ahead of myself. Sho stole the junior heavyweight title, and we're going to have a title match in Sapporo, I assume. LIJ against just 5 guys. The entrances took about 14 million years, but you know what? This had pretty good action. Sonata wants another shot. Held title for a while. Naito beat him. This is Naito's last run with the world title. His knees are basically just held together with super glue and duct tape. Yuya and Yoda are going to have a hair versus hair match. I like to know who booked that, because that's pretty goddamn stupid. Imagine either of those guys bald. Very few people look good bald. I don't. I just like to shave my head because I don't like to invest in much shampoo. The crowd loved Naito. Things picked up here because at least we had actual action going on. Bushi gets that damn dive in. Bushi doesn't do much, but in these multi-man matches, he's like, I'll do one dive. That's it. That's your lot right there. Taka is still wrestling in 2024. That's wild. Good for Taka, by the way. Good pace to it. Skull in. Gets Bushi. And there you are. And then DK leave commentary. And a package on Okada's, last time in Cork and Hall, where he's very emotional. I did go back and watch that. I watched some of the stuff that he did, and he was very emotional. Because he's been there for 12 goddamn years, and after the bullshit that happened in TNA, at least his first run of TNA, I'm just glad that he was able to get out of that. And Tanahashi and Okada, the rivalry, for the ages. And, hell of a rivalry. I probably need to go back actually and rewatch it and maybe do a package show sometime. And talk about maybe the highlights of the matches. But I think that's almost better for people that really do know Japanese wrestling way more than I do. Tana makes his entrance, back to the Go Ace music. Okada gets a big pop. He's super emotional. This is them playing their biggest hits. It wasn't that Okada was playing it safe. It wasn't that Tanahashi was playing it safe. It's just that Tanahashi is washed. He's also the current TV champion. And big Okada chants. Big Okada chants. And the crowd made this. Because it was just them not going through the motions. It's just, it was obvious who was going to win. At least I thought so. I actually thought Tana was going to win. I actually thought Tanahashi was going to get the victory. Even though his knees are basically powderized and he's the president of New Japan. But Okada got the fans to boo him. And he taunted Tanahashi as it were. I still think that Hiroshi needs to actually have a side business where he deals in fish. Tunahashi, as it were. So, Tanahashi does do an aces high to the floor and then takes about a minute to get up. And bless him, he still has that iron will. And his body has been schmelted. Rainmaker pose. We got a landslide and a Rainmaker 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. Definitely not their best match. Didn't need to be. It's all about Okada having that emotional moment, that connection with the fans. The fans gave him their massive throbbing adulation. And good. I don't know if Okada apparently is rumored to be signing with AEW. He wants to go there. I just hope that check is large enough from Khan. WWE, it's a damn shame if Endeavor did not pony up the money for Okada. That's a missed opportunity. I'm not saying they need him. I'm not saying that he'll boost business in AEW either, because Khan doesn't know how to book any of these big signings, but as long as he's happy and getting a big check, I'm for it. And I honest to God hope that he is featured well in wherever he goes. Likely in AEW if he wants to wrestle a bunch of other places, and he wouldn't be able to do that so much in WWE. Where do you think he's going, WWE or AEW? Answers in the comments, please. So, we got Hikuleo and ELP defending the IWGP tag titles against Kenta and Chase Owens. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious, 2024? Chase Owens in a tag title match? It is like 2024 just wants to say, hey, wrestling fans, we don't like you. Because here's one of the most boring people ever to grace a Japanese ring. Or ever grace any professional wrestling ring. Chase, I'll pretend you said 18 Owens, allegedly. Apparently Tama Tonga is leaving New Japan. I heard commentary say this. Him and Tonga Loa. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. ELP decides to strap a woman while another woman watches with the tag titles. They run a clean show. There's very loud Kenta chants from one particular fan that was either by a camera mic or was about 20 feet tall and could scream above everybody else. I like ELP, but why in the world would they think that I would want to watch anything involving Chase Owens? Also, it was bullshit because Chase Owens is involved in Kenta, bless him, is getting by basically on just stalling and doing some decent heel work. Ishimori runs in, hits Hikuleo with the tag title, and Kenta covers 1, 2, 3. So Kenta and Chase Owens are the tag team champions. Are ELP and Hikuleo leaving? I have so many questions. Package on Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. Danielson gets a pop, the yes chants, all that. And okay, Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr., the rematch after their great match at Wrestle Dream, which I was in attendance for. That was a hell of a goddamn show. I just wish that there was a bigger crowd. There was only about 6,000 to 6,300 people in the Climate Pledge Arena. And just to give you an idea, I attended all 3 AEW shows in 2023. And the most attended one was the first one, the Dynamite, to start the year, the same day as Wrestle Kingdom that year. And yeah, they had around 9,000 and 9,500 people. And between Collision and Wrestle Dream, they maybe eclipsed that mark by 1,000 between two shows. Not good. Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. had a great goddamn match. And as expected, 60-man time limit, as expected, it was well wrestled. Of course, these guys are so smooth, so accurate, and just precise. Zack Sabre Jr. did get tangled up in the ropes, though, and I was afraid that he snapped his leg. Thankfully, he didn't. Brian zeroes in on it, echoing kicks. The ankle lock, we got some nice strikes, good stuff going on. I don't know why they did the stupid slap fight while they were trying for leg vices. I didn't like that. I just thought that was kind of stupid. Sorry, I just didn't care for it. But Zack Sabre Jr. focused on the neck. He got some stretches on. He got an arm trap where he just trapped the arms and then went to trap the legs and just kept switching positions. Time to rock the boat. This is awesome chants. They got a Japanese crowd to chant, this is awesome. That's pretty goddamn good. That was refreshing to hear. A little too overdone in the U.S. Market, but nevertheless. Zack Driver for 2, and then more kicks. Ouch, a lot of kicks. We got some hammer blows. Rope breaks, we got, various near falls, and then we got a trap pin 1, 2, 3, and holy goddamn shit, Zack Sabre Jr. pins him, but he said Danielson couldn't tap him out. He pinned him at Wrestle Dream, and Zack Sabre Jr. pins Brian here, so obviously we're getting a rematch, I think, in Wembley. Forbidden Door or Wembley, I almost think that Wembley might be better just because it would be nice for these two to be able to wrestle in front of that crowd. It'd be a big moment for Brian Danielson. And a handshake, and that was honestly surprising. And then the announcers kill time while the dog pound cage is set up, and we see what led to this. We see, the Bullet Club War Dogs that have no goddamn bite to them. That's like watching little chihuahuas try to nibble at you and everything, and you just look at them and just say, seriously, go over here. You don't kick the dog, you don't abuse the dog, you just say, sit over here and do something, or sit over on this little stand and be a chihuahua. Alright, so they take time to set up the cage and everything. And the cage kind of looks cool. It's only about 8 to 9 feet tall, but it surrounds a ring. They almost tried to make it an octagon-like thing. Okay, I didn't have a problem with that. And, it had a good look to it. And the door was going to be open because they were going to make this dog pound cage match War Game style. Okay. So basically 2 guys start out, and then every few minutes we have, an entry come in. So we have the United Empire, Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, who I believe is dealing with a legit injury, Aaron Hanare. I don't think they're actually calling him Aaron Hanare anymore. If they are, I apologize. TJP and Akira. Akira, the fireball that is about the size of a chickpea. I couldn't help but notice that. Against the Bullet Club War Dogs. David Finlay, Alex Coughlin, noted fucking blithering idiot Gabriel Kidd. I do not understand what people see in this guy. This guy is a moron. This guy just screams like he should be institutionalized. And that's not a knock against institutions. I just really think that this guy needs his brain studied. Except the scientists would say, no, we need to send this back because there ain't shit to study here. Clark Connors and Drilla Mulroney, or Dermot Mulroney. Yeah, Dermot Mulroney. That's who it is. Dog pound cage match. So I took a look because I watched it on my Roku. I watched this on demand. And I saw how long the thing was. And I took a look and I go, why is the clip 2 hours? I'm thinking, okay, that's backstage comments, that's other stuff. Maybe there's another match before. And then they kill time, they set up the stuff they do. Ospreay gets a big entrance, lavish entrance. Crowd's chanting Ospreay. Crowd loved him. Okay, that was a big goddamn deal. Ospreay means a whole lot to those fans. Finlay shows up. This David Finlay-led Bullet Club has been terrible. Has been fucking egregiously terrible. It is not even that he's a bad worker. Just the Bullet Club stuff is the stench of death. It has the stench of death. It is the stench of death. So, Ospreay didn't want 2 minutes. He needed 10. But then Sean Spears said, fuck you, that's my gimmick. And David said 5. Okay, 5. 5-minute interval to start. And then we keep going. Okay, fine. I looked at how long they had when this thing started, and I think the clip, even with the clip, with the backstage comments taken into account, this thing started with about an hour and 36 minutes, and I go, you have got to be kidding me. I'm sorry, how long are they going to have this thing go? I got warned that the match did go long, but I didn't actually believe that it went that long. I'm going to say right now that, once again, the Finlay-led Bullet Club, group is fucking stupid. I don't care if there's actual talent in there. This whole thing is stupid. And I like Jeff Cobb, and I like Kanare. I don't mind Akira. TJP is a fucking creep. Will Ospreay is going to end up in a wheelchair like Dynamite Kid with how he lands on shit. But I like Cobb and Hanare. And Drilla comes out next. And mind you, the door's open. The door's open until everybody's in and the door closes. And nobody can escape after that. That's always how that works in these matches. Drilla comes out holding... So, yeah, Dermot Mulroney comes out holding that Callum Newman guy. Because he's the understudy. And for no reason, just handcuffs him. Just happens to have handcuffs. And he handcuffs Newman to the cage wall. And he has a belt of forks. It was right here where I was starting to question why I decided to not heed the words of Will Ospreay when he said, I believe at the last US show they did, for this cage match, I'm going back to my backyard wrestling roots. That should have been a sign that this wasn't actually going to involve just a bloody cage match with impactful maneuvers and just, using the cage as a weapon. The weapon that you're surrounded by. Now let's bring forks in. Let's do everything that WWE, AEW, and GCW and all these promotions have done, bastardizing war games. Let's not do anything intelligent. Let's not make our first cage match in a while. And I don't remember the last time they ran a cage match. Please let me know the last time New Japan Pro Wrestling ran a cage match. But this, a belt of forks. Who needs a belt of forks, by the way? Fale's in Australia or New Zealand, or wherever the fuck he is. Hanare comes out next. Clark comes out next with his arm taped up and barbed wire on it. Why? Why? Genuine question, why? And just... He's hitting him with the wire and everything. When you're surrounded by a goddamn weapon in the cage. If you wanted to have chairs under the ring or use a couple chairs, use a couple kendo sticks. If you wanted to have the thing where handcuffs would, if you handcuffed everybody to the wall and you won the match that way, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. You can win by pinfall submission or handcuffing everybody to the cage. I don't have a problem with gimmicking up a little bit. But it got egregious, and we weren't even close to done. Oh, no. It got a whole lot worse. I knew that this probably wasn't going to be something that I cared for, but I had hope. Because I've liked wild brawls before. But TJP showed up, and he had wire, because why not? Alex Coughlin then came out carrying a bunch of chairs on his... both his arms, like he was an usher just setting up chairs at an indie show. And let me just say right now that if I had actually been responsible for running this, I would have suspended everybody for 90 goddamn days for being involved in this. I would have said to the fans, we're going to find something else for them to do. And when they've learned their lesson, even though Ospreay is the one that would be going, seriously, this is embarrassing for professional wrestling because this isn't wrestling. This isn't even a bloody brawl where it's between two just lifelong enemies. Like, there's not a lot to this. I'm sorry. Even if you watch the weekly shows or the tours, there's no blood feud about this. And I don't have a problem with them bleeding. Hell, I'm all for a cage match involving bleeding, especially if it's supposed to be the blow-off match. But when you involve the worst version of Bullet Club that has ever goddamn existed, there will be no worse Bullet Club version of this because Gabriel fucking Blithering Idiot Kid exists for whatever reason. Apparently his parents didn't practice safe termination. I digress. I would have just said, you know what, that's it. Go. Everybody go. We're not doing this anymore. Because somebody needs to take control of this company and say, what the fuck are we doing? We already don't have Okada. We don't have Ospreay. Bushiroad's not wanting to pay out big money for people. So let's just let everybody act like idiots and bring weapons in. And not actually have a wrestling match. Because why would you want to have a wrestling match? Have a bloody cage match. Do not have something that obviously is hurting everybody really badly, but also looks stagey and phony at the same time. That's the thing I couldn't understand, because you could tell that these guys were legit beating the shit out of themselves and each other. These stupid weapon shots, this furniture that will not cooperate. Chairs won't, no matter how much you gimmick them. Kendo sticks, handcuffs, barbed wire. Who asked for this? Who asked for this stuff to be, put in a goddamn cage match? If I kill AEW for it, if I kill WWE for it, if I kill any other company for it, there is no reason for this to fucking exist. And I hated the Lethal Lockdown matches when TNA decided to goddamn gimmick that shit up. But at least they built to the weapons, being involved. They didn't just instantly start bringing them out. Akira comes in, jumps off the cage, and gets the crowd to pop. He also weighs about 90 pounds, so I don't know how much that actually hurt. It's ridiculous. This is Will Ospreay's last match. He better hope that Tony Khan contract is iron goddamn clad. He better hope that that's big money and he makes a lot on his merch. Because by the time he wants to come back to New Japan, if he's able to even walk, I will be amazed. And here's Gabe Kidd with a cart full of weapons and a trash can. Somebody should have put him in the trash bin and pulled the compactor lever until everything just stopped and went silent. We don't have enough garbage already, and here's Gabriel Garbage Kid. I hate this guy. I don't hate this guy as a heel. I hate this guy because just the fact that he is breathing oxygen in a professional wrestling ring and not actually doing something like, I don't know, like on a fishing dock doing something where he could just, be his own crazy way. No, he's got to be in this goddamn profession that he's not good at. He's not goddamn good at. I saw the match that Hanare and Gabe Kidd had, and if Gabe Kidd actually knew how to wrestle, then I would maybe praise him a little bit, but he doesn't. Hanare basically had to carry that goddamn thing, because Hanare, who came out, he got taken out at one point because he was injured. He was too hurt, and they took him out. So now that's an old thing where you have somebody come back and they're all bandaged up, and okay, if this match wasn't already complete trash, I would actually be for that. Everyone involved in this should be ashamed. Ashamed. They're taking all these bumps, all these unnecessary bumps, and doing all this bullshit with all of these weapons in a match that most people, now I don't know, if there are people that like it, please let me know in the comments. Now, I'm not knocking you guys here, but I would imagine the vast majority of people that love New Japan probably would be looking at this and saying, what the fuck actually happened to this company? What the fuck? If Gato booked this, then fire Gato. Fire that little Oompa Loompa looking motherfucker. Fire that goddamn CeeLo wannabe. And I've praised Gato in the goddamn past. Good lord. Apparently Cobb is the last guy. I wasn't paying attention to this, very closely beyond just watching it as a goddamn car crash. But I wrote down once again, Gabriel Kidd once again is a blithering idiot, end quote. TJP, by the way, remember how he had that Magua mask thing and all that weird tribal stuff that he had? Yeah, well, he had it under the ring for just this occasion. He looked like Foghorn Leghorn trying to wrestle. And Hanare is back in. I mean, okay, good. I love seeing Hanare wrestle. I wish he would have been able to wrestle here. This will not end, and we were about 30 minutes into the match, and then it kept going. If this match had been 35, 40 minutes, I mean, I wouldn't have loved it. I certainly wouldn't have hated it as much as I did. But we got an elbow through the table because Hanare dived on that, because Hanare's like, well, I'll just take myself out of this goddamn match. We then got thumbtacks because we haven't done enough garbage bullshit in this, and we got alcohol. I felt like drinking after watching this, and I don't drink. I haven't drank in well over 15 goddamn years because I choose to live a clean and sober lifestyle, and I really felt like I needed to drink. And I would just like to say that everybody involved in this should not be allowed to ever have a drink again. You should have to live with yourselves knowing, clean and sober, that you did, and we're competing in one of the worst matches New Japan Pro Wrestling has done since the pandemic, but definitely one of the worst matches I've seen since I started picking back up watching them at Wrestle Kingdom 12. Everyone is moronic. The handcuffing to the cage apparently wins it. We get a barbed wire table. Why? Why? To what end? Gato showed up. Okan tried to stop him, and Gato keyed him like he was a fucking car. And then Gato gets in the ring. Okan manages to rescue Newman, or somebody does. I don't know. Maybe Newman just said, oh shit, I can get out of these handcuffs at any point. And then they do a miss spot from TJP because he thinks he's the Great Muta, when he's not even the Great Muta's replaced knee. Dueling Oz Cutters because Newman's involved in this because, the rules don't apply. I don't think there's any goddamn rules here. We get a table bump, in the barbed wire table, and ladder bumps because we're not having a match, and we haven't had a match pretty much since the first 5 minutes passed. This is bad for wrestling. Everything about this is bad for wrestling. This will not help anybody. This will turn off a lot of people. Because you can have a car crash if you get in, get out, but when you have it go on for over an hour, no. This is just as bad as AEW doing Blood and Guts. This is just as bad as WWE doing their War Games matches. It's ridiculous. Then David Finlay gets hung by a dog collar. I felt like, ending up like David Carradine. Maybe not quite that way, but it would have been a lot better and a lot more merciful than watching this. The whole fork thing. Yeah, everybody can fork the hell off here. And this will just never end. This will not goddamn end. Yell at Hanare and yell motherfucker and all that. Yeah, sure, Alex, you're a real bad. Alex Coughlin had potential. I don't ever want to see anything he's involved in. Pile driver, they rip the ring apart, which takes about 5 million years, by the way. And they're bumping on the boards that are bopping up because, again, furniture does not cooperate with you. And Ospreay goes at it alone while everybody's either out or handcuffed to the goddamn wall, and he gets pinned. This is abysmal. Thank you, Ospreay. He's emotional. I don't ever want to see any of these people in the goddamn ring again. I need to calm down after watching this goddamn slop fest. Fuck it. Fuck everybody that had anything to do with putting this together. I like Hanare. I like Cobb. I don't think I'm going to even review the New Japan Cup. I don't know what New Japan show I'm going to review next. Maybe I'll review Windy City Riot. Maybe I'll review Sakura Genesis or wherever the April show is. This was embarrassing. This was flat out embarrassing. And there's nothing wrong. You can do the blood. You can do the cage. But if you have that many weapons involved in, you do not want to actually have a match. You just want to be a shit wrestler. And some of these people aren't shit wrestlers. Others are Gabriel Kidd. Or Gabe Kidd, whatever the hell. Alex the Kid. I could call him Alex the Kid, except I actually enjoyed playing the Alex the Kid games. Yeah, that's how old I am. Well, at least Danielson's Xavier Jr. was good, and Okada, God, I hope Okada can just go somewhere where he can be respected and earn a lot of money. And Ospreay, I really hope that contract holds up, but god damn it, this is abysmal. One of the most putrid matches I have seen in a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring since I've been reviewing this stuff. Terrible. Goddamn awful. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.